I believe that people have like game-changing moments in their life that literally change the destiny of where they're going. And as a matter of fact, I think that everybody should look forward to that in their life. You know, adversity is a blessing. Meaning, you know, you run into a brick wall and that becomes a challenge and that could change your entire life. So I got 3 stories that I'll talk about right here. And the first one is about, at a very young age, studying with Vic Firth. And studying with Vic was very, very demanding, very busy man, a perfectionist himself. Preparing for lessons for Vic were very serious. It was serious business. And studying with Vic also prepared me to eventually get into Tanglewood. And Vic was the guy I auditioned. It took me 4 years to audition and get in to Tanglewood, which is this program. Anyway, when I studied with Vic prior to that, the thing that was a game-changing moments with him was, this is the type of guy, he's very nice, but he's not a coddling guy. You show up, you're prepared. If you're not prepared, go home. So if you make a mistake on, let's say, one of his timpani etudes, he says, fine. He shows you how to do it. If you can't do it after he shows you, that exercise is done. Next page. So you could be done in 15 minutes if you're not prepared. Now, the game-changing moment is that you either embrace that or you say, the same for me. If you embrace it, then you understand what it takes. It takes you to the next level of how to handle, you know, responsibility, discipline, and hard work, which are fundamentals to becoming successful. Another episode that came after this studying with Vic was when my freshman year at University of Massachusetts as a performance major in percussion, there was this beautiful cellist that was older than me, and I had a crush on her, and she was going to the Aspen School of Music, which is run by Juilliard. So I wanted to go where she was, so I auditioned. And I auditioned, and you audition on like a mallets, which would be a marimba or a vibraphone, timpani, multiple percussion, and I think I added snare drum too. So I auditioned, and I never hear from anybody, so I planned my summer, which was to study with Vic in the summer. I had a rock and roll band, and I had a girlfriend. Never mind that girl that went to Aspen. I had a real girlfriend. And so I pack up the car last day of school, and I'm driving home. I'm driving off the campus, and I went, oh my God, I forgot my mail. Check my mail last day. I go to check it. I got accepted to the Aspen Music Festival. And not only do I get accepted, but you got to be there in 2 weeks. I go home. I tell my family, I want to do this. My mom is freaking because me and my identical twin brother had just gone off to school, and she had all of a sudden the crazy chaos of 2 hyper twins were gone for the year. Now they're back for the summer. Now we're back, all right, but now I'm saying I'm leaving. Took all the money I had in savings, and 2 weeks later, I'm on my way to Aspen. When I was at Aspen, I was the worst percussionist there. And if you see a picture of all of us in that picture, I'm the one, not that fame is everything, but I'm the guy, I was the worst. And I'm the guy just like a running back in football, just pounding and pounding and pounding and pounding year in, year out. So, but my point is I was not the best, yet the hard work, the discipline, which ties in with, you know, what I learned from Vic, that hard work and persistence and discipline supported by passion and talent and education is the key to success. Game-changing moment was, I went to Aspen. In Aspen, I met George Gaber, who was a professor at Indiana University. I get into Indiana University. I don't go back to UMass. I make another change. My mom is like, I cannot believe it. Now you're really going far away. I drive from Aspen to Indiana, take some written tests. I get accepted, go home, 4 days in Massachusetts. 4 days later, I drive back to Indiana University. I spent the next 4 years getting my performance degree there. Worked my way from the bottom. By the time I was a junior, second semester junior, I was a timpanist in the #1 orchestra. By the time I graduated that senior year, I won a concerto competition playing a virtuosic violin concerto that I adapted to marimba. And I won this concerto competition with a 60-piece orchestra in a humongous opera hall the size of the New York Met. This all comes from this discipline, game-changing moment, learning this discipline from Vic Firth, embracing it, moving forward. Going to Aspen, and embracing the challenges there, changed my life to go to Aspen. I meet George Gaber, stay at Indiana University, which then eventually created my roots in Indiana, which eventually, because I was there, I got an audition with Johnny Cougar, which eventually turned into John Cougar Mellencamp. I decided to make a 180-degree turn and go back to following my passion, which was playing drum set in a rock and roll band. I'm groomed to be an orchestra player. I was offered 2 jobs in orchestras, and I decide not to do it. And my passion, which I believe passion will trump your intellect every time. My passion was saying, I don't want to do, I want to do this now. So I'll play in a club for $75 a night, and I just basically turned down what I'd been striving to do for 7 years. I go back to Indiana, form a band, and I'm in a band, I'm living in a house, I'm making hardly any money, but I'm doing it. Practicing 8 hours a day, playing at night, trying to get my drum set. I'm thinking my skills up. I'm thinking now all these guys that were practicing just drum set, now I got to catch up to them. I hear about this Johnny Cougar guy. I audition. I get in the band. 5 weeks later, we go to LA to make a record. Huge game-changing event. I was coming from fusion, funk, jazz. More is more. I had double bass drum, 9 tom-toms, 100 cymbals. John Mellencamp, or Johnny Cougar, wanted the Charlie Watts. 1 up, 1 down, hi-hat, ride, crash. That's it. And I'm like, what? So when he was looking, John always looked for, after he would write a song, he'd turn to the drummer, me, for a direction. You know, the beat determines the direction of a song. My ideas were more out there. They weren't like down the road like a Charlie Watts type of style of drumming. I was thinking more fusion. And so my ideas weren't happening for him. Anyway, there's this tension going on in the studio. Producers notices this tension. I get called down to John's hotel room. We're staying at the Chateau Marmont. I've told everybody I'm making a record. I'm going to LA. I'm pumped. John says we're going to get some session drummers in. I'm like, wow. John goes, so, I mean, you know, no disrespect to you. I don't think he said it quite like that, but he said, you're fired, basically. You're not doing the record. And that's like a football coach saying it. And I went, no. I'm going, wow, did I just say that? The game-changing moment was, John is telling me, you're going home. And I'm telling him, no, I'm not. And if I had gone home, who knows, I might have been fired. I might not have had this career with John Mellencamp. Something came out of my inner soul, my gut, and I said, no, I'm not going home. And I go, and then the words just came out, am I your drummer? And he goes, he's like befuddled, like, why is he asking? He says, I guess, yeah, you're my drummer. I guess, well, if I'm your drummer, then I'm gonna stay here, and I'm gonna watch these guys play my parts, and I'm gonna learn from them, and I'm gonna get better because of this. And if I get better, I benefit from that, and if I benefit, you benefit because I'm your drummer. Dude, I have no idea where those words came from. I've never talked like that in my life. But I stayed. I said, and you don't have to pay me. I'll just stay here on my own. That's exactly what I did, and that was the beginning of my career with John Mellencamp. You know, 3 or 4 #1 hit singles. Jack on Diane, still played on the radio now. One of the biggest air drum fills on the radio.
Turn up those drums so I can hear them out front.
I tell you, man, that was major career game-changing moment. Now, that was all back from determination, hard work, discipline, back all the way back when I was studying with Vic Firth. Game-changing moment for my life, especially in my career, was right there when I told John Mellencamp, no, I'm not going home, and I'm going to lick this. And I'm thinking, I won a concerto competition. I played under the baton of Leonard Bernstein. I'm thinking, are you kidding me? I can make a record. But he's saying you can't. And I turned it around. And that was a slow 45-degree angle of me with my career, and it's still going.